everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Namma and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 13th and 14th of February 2022. Starting with very first question, scientists from which country achieved a milestone in nuclear fusion energy by generating 59 megajoule of sustained energy? So scientists from the United Kingdom have achieved a new milestone in producing the nuclear fusion energy or imitating the way energy is produced in the sun. So a team at the Joint European Torus facility in central England has generated 59 megajoules of sustained energy during an experiment, and 1 kg of fusion fuel contains about 10 million times energy of that of a kg of coal, oil or a gas. Okay. Now apart from it, Ministry of Coal has recently announced that the target of all India coal production of 1.2 billion ton up to the year 2023 to 24 has been fixed, and the Union Government has launched the single window clearance portal in 2021 for the coal sector to speed up the operationalization of the coal mines. So it is a kind of unified platform that assists for clearances and approvals required for starting a coal mine in India. Okay. So you can be asked that what is the target of all India coal production up to 2023 to 24? Answer is 1.2 billion tons. Then according to the figures released by the US Census Bureau, India-US bilateral goods trade was worth $113.391 billion from January to December 2021. So this is the largest volume of goods trade in a calendar year in India-US economic history ever. So India exported goods worth over $73 billion and imported goods worth $40 billion. And in the year 2020, the trade fell to $78.2 billion due to COVID-19 pandemic from the high of $92.1 billion in the year 2019. Okay. So you can be asked that India-US bilateral goods trade has crossed which milestone recently? Answer is $100 billion. Okay. Now a few days back we have seen that United Nations Conference on Trade and Development Investment Trend Monitor says FDI flows to India in 2021 were 26% lower than that of the previous year. And the global FDI flows showed a strong bounce in 2021 as it increased by 77% to $1.65 trillion from $929 billion in the year 2020. So do remember that China saw a record 20% increase with $179 billion of inflows driven by the strong services foreign direct investment. Okay. Question number 2. Which Indian city has the most traffic congestion as per the TomTom traffic index? So geolocation technology specialist TomTom has released the 11th edition of its annual TomTom traffic index, and it is a kind of report that analyzes the traffic trends seen in 404 cities in total 58 countries during the year 2021. So India fared better than the global average of 10% decrease in congestion, but 4 cities from India featured in the index's global top 25 list, which are these: Mumbai at 5th rank, then Bangalore at 10th place, New Delhi at 11th, and Pune is at 21st. Okay, so correct answer is Mumbai. Now do remember that India is the fifth largest exporter of millets in the world according to the 2020 data. And the exports have increased at around 3% CAGR in the last 5 years ending with 2020. So in the year 2020 to 21, India exported millets worth $26.97 million against $28.5 million in 2019 to 2020. So world export of millet has increased from $380 million in the year 2019 to now $402.7 million in 2020. Okay. So if you are asked that according to 2020 data, what is the rank of India in the millet export? Answer is 5th. Now let's see India's rank in some of the important indexes. First is Corruption Perception Index. In this, India's rank was 85. Then there is Hindley Passport Index. India's rank was 83rd. Then another index is Global Health Security Index. In this, India was placed at 66th rank. After that, World Talent Ranking report is there, in which India stands at 56. After that, Asia Power Index ranks India at 4th. Means India is the 4th most powerful country in the Asia Pacific. Okay. Then according to 2021 Trace Global Bribery Risk Rankings, India's rank was 82nd in this. Then Climate Change Performance Index ranks India at 10th. And last is Global Drug Policy Index. In this, India stands at 18th. Okay. So these are some of the important ranks of India in various indices. Okay. Question number 3. Annual Status of Education Report is published by which institution? So India's Directorate General of Foreign Trade announced that the import of drones is banned. So the order exempted those used for research and development, defense and security purposes. So this move also blocks the market for China's DJI technology company, which is the world's top drone maker, and encourages India's local industry to increase the production. So import of some drone components will however be allowed. Okay. So answer is India. Question number 3. Annual Status of Education Report is published by which institution? So Pratham Foundation annually conducts an extensive survey in schools to analyze the learning outcome of students. So recently it released the Annual Status of Education Report for West Bengal, and as per the report, the basic reading and numerical abilities of school children in the state of West Bengal have reduced during the COVID-19. And the obvious reason is classroom absence. Okay. Now talking about Niti Aayog, recently it has released a report titled as Reimagining Healthcare in India through Blended Finance. Okay. And as per the report, about 65% of hospital beds in the country cater to almost 50% of the population concentrated in some states. And the report also stressed that the number of beds must be increased by at least 30% to ensure equitable access to healthcare facilities for the people. Fine. So simply you have to remember this particular report has been published by Niti Aayog. Okay. So talking about Pratham Foundation, recently it has been awarded the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize for 2021. So this is a kind of civil society organization to improve the quality of education for underprivileged children in India and around the world. Okay. Also, Niti Aayog has released a discussion paper called as Digital Banks, a proposal for licensing and regulatory regime for India. Okay. This paper has been released in, I think, the month of December. So in this, Niti Aayog offers a roadmap to make the digital banks a reality in the country. And also it cites that the digital banks will help India to mitigate the deepening financial challenges. Okay. Do remember that the digital banks are defined in the Banking Regulations Act of 1949. Fine. Question number 4. The National Center of Excellence in Carbon Capture and Utilisation has been established at which institution? So the Department of Science and Technology has established the National Center of Excellence in Carbon Capture and Utilisation at IIT Bombay. So this is India's first such center which has been completely funded by the Department of Science and Technology, And this Center of Excellence explores the potential of carbon capture and utilization technologies which will help India achieve its climate change goals. Now, a few days back we have seen that Forbes has released the rankings of 100 most powerful women of the world, and in this, first position was occupied by Mackenzie Scott, who is the former wife of Jeff Bezos. Second position was occupied by Vice President of USA, Kamala Harris. And third was head of European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde. Okay. Do remember that India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has been ranked at 37th position in this list. Now, apart from it, Geological Survey of India, which comes under Ministry of Mines, in collaboration with British Geological Survey, has developed a prototype regional landslide early warning system, or you can say LEWS for India. So this system is being evaluated and tested by Geological Survey of India in 2 pilot areas in India. First in Darjeeling district of West Bengal, and second is Nilgiris district of Tamil Nadu. So GSI is developing the prototype through the landslip project. Okay. Now can you tell me the Shrestha scheme comes under which particular ministry? Answer is Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry. And full form of Shrestha is Residential Education for Students in High Schools in Targeted Areas. Okay. So this will focus on the socio-economic upliftment and overall development of SC students by providing quality residential education to the meritorious SC students in reputed private schools which are having the residential facility. Okay. Question number 5. Which developing country has imposed a ban on import of drones? So India's Directorate General of Foreign Trade has announced that the import of drones is banned, and the order exempted those used for research and development, defense and security purposes. So this move also blocks the market for China's SZDJI technology company, which is basically the world's top drone maker, and now it encourages the India's local industry to increase their production. And import of some drone components will however be allowed. Okay, so answer is India. Now astronomers from the Indian Institute of Astrophysics along with astronomers from BITS Pilani have devised an artificial intelligence based algorithm to identify the potentially habitable ones with a high probability. To identify the potentially habitable planet with a high probability. And as per the current estimate, the number of planets in our galaxy alone is estimated to be in billions. And it is an anomaly detection method which is based on the assumption that Earth is an anomaly with the possibility of existence of few other anomalies. Okay, so simply you have to remember that India is the country which has devised an artificial intelligence based algorithm to identify potentially habitable planets. Okay, now apart from it, Israel's Ministry of Transport and Road Safety has announced the country's first certification for unmanned aircraft vehicles to operate in civilian airspace. And now with this, Israel has become the first country to allow the drones in civil airspace. And for safety purpose, international aviation regulations prohibit the uncertified aircraft from flying in the civilian airspace. Okay. So definitely you can be asked that which country has become the first to allow the drones in civilian airspace? Answer is Israel. And Israel was also in news because India and Israel have recently widened the I4F during their 8th governing body meet. Okay, I4F stands for India-Israel Industrial Research and Development Technological Fund. Then apart from all these things, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hosted the first India Central Asia Summit in a virtual format recently. President of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan participated in this particular summit. Okay. Question number 6. What is the new policy repo rate after the February 2022 Monetary Policy Committee meeting? So RBI's Monetary Policy Committee has voted unanimously to keep the policy repo rate unchanged at again 4%. And reverse repo rate also remains unchanged at 3.35%. So as per the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, the accommodative stance will continue as long as needed. Okay. Now let's see some of the important current affairs regarding Reserve Bank of India. First of all, recently RBI has cancelled the license of Independence Cooperative Bank Limited based on Nashik, Maharashtra. And reason was that bank does not have adequate capital and earning prospect. This means that it does not comply with the provisions of Section 56 of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Okay. Also, RBI has imposed several restrictions on India Mercantile Cooperative Bank Limited, Lucknow, including a cap of 1 lakh rupees on withdrawals. So now bank will not, without its prior approval, grant or renew any loans and advances or make any type of investment, and this restriction would remain in force for 6 months and are subject to review further. Okay. Also to remember that RBI will observe 14th to 18th of February 2022 as the Financial Literacy Week to propagate the financial education messages on a particular theme across the country, and this year theme is Go Digital, Go Secure. Okay. Question number 7. Namma Shaale Nanna Koduge application is an initiative of which state or union territory? So Department of Primary and Secondary Education of Karnataka has developed this particular application, and this aims to address infrastructure needs of government schools, shortage of teachers, better use of learning, and utilization of corporate social responsibility funds. Okay. The central government of India has decided to continue the scheme of Rashtriya Yuva Sashakti-karan Karikram for another 5 years, that means from 2021-22 up to 2025-26, and outlay would be 2,710.65 crore rupees. Okay. Aim is to develop the personality and leadership qualities of youth and to engage them in nation building activities. And who are the beneficiaries? Youth who are in the age group of 15 to 29 years. Also, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana has been extended till March 2026 with an allocation of 4,600 crore rupees, and the scheme is administered by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and aim is overall growth and development of food processing sector. Also, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is a Government of India initiative which aims at providing affordable housing to the urban poor by the year 2022. So recently the last date for availing the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana credit linked subsidy scheme and EWS and the low income group categories has been extended till 31st March 2022. Okay, so these are different type of schemes. Question number 8. As per the NASA, what is the total number of objects tracked on orbit as of 2022? So as per the NASA's recent announcement, there are currently 25,000 total objects tracked on orbit and about 6,100 below 600 kilometers. So SpaceX's Generation 2 expansion involves launching nearly 30,000 satellites, which will double the number of tracked objects in the orbit. And as per the NASA, this may impact the NASA science and human spaceflight missions. Also, Amazon has raised the concerns that its Kuiper system may be impacted. Okay. Now, Elon Musk Starlink has lost 40 out of the 49 satellites, causing them to fall from the orbit before they could be commissioned. Okay. So, they were caught in a geomagnetic storm a day after they were launched, and this particular storm is a kind of temporary disturbance of the Earth's magnetosphere caused by a solar wind shock wave. So also it occurs when cloud of magnetic field interacts with the Earth's magnetic field. Okay. Now NASA has recently launched its new laser communication relay demonstration from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. And this is the first ever laser communication system of NASA, and it will help the NASA in testing optical communication in the space. Okay. And also we have seen that recently ISRO has announced about the plans for 2022, and also it provided the details about the missions accomplished in 2021. So missions planned for 2022 are, for example, Earth observation satellites 04 and 06. They are to be launched on PSLV, and also ISRO will launch Adit, Chandrayaan 3, ExpoSat technological demonstration missions, etc. Okay. Question number 9. As per a recent study, which national park of India is releasing more carbon than it is absorbing? So as per a recent research, Kaziranga National Park in Assam is releasing more carbon than it is absorbing. And this national park is home to the largest population of one-horned rhinos in the world. And usually forests absorb more carbon than they release, which makes them carbon sink. So this is mainly due to decreasing rainfall in this particular region. Okay. So talking about Assam, recently Assam government has decided to increase the size of Orang National Park to 3 times. Means the state is to add nearly 200 square kilometer area to it. Okay. And which are the 7 national parks in the state of Assam? Dihing Patkai, Dibru Sakhova, Manas, Kaziranga, Nameri, Raimona and this Orang. Okay. Do remember that Dihing Patkai is the latest 7th national park that has been included in the month of June 2021. Also, Assam has now 3rd most national parks in India. Okay. Which state has the highest national parks? Madhya Pradesh with total 12 and second is Andaman and Nicobar with total 9. Now also we have seen that Legislative Assembly of Assam has recently passed an amendment bill which seeks to modify the Cattle Preservation Act of 1950 and strengthen the same, and the additional rules made in the bill will provide for ease of transportation in the cattle for agriculture purposes and ensure a stringent punishment for the cattle smugglers. Okay. Now coming to last question, World Pulses Day is celebrated every year on which date? So World Pulses Day is celebrated on 10th of February every year. The United Nations General Assembly in 2019 dedicated this day to increase awareness and access to the pulses globally. So this year theme is Pulses to empower youth in achieving the sustainable agri-food systems. Now apart from it, National Deworming Day is observed on 10th of February to make people aware of the importance of deworming, particularly for the children from 1 to 19 years of age who are the most vulnerable. And the day was launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in the year 2015. Actually around 25% of the world's population is infected with the worms currently. Okay. Now apart from it, World Unani Day is observed on 11th of February every year to mark the birth anniversary of Hakim Ajmal Khan, who is an eminent Indian Unani physician, and aim is to spread the awareness in masses, the healthcare delivery through the Unani system of medicine worldwide through its preventive and curative philosophy. Also, International Day of Women and Girls in Science is observed on 11th of February every year. And the theme for this year was, I am writing it here, Equality, Diversity and Inclusion, Water Unites Us. Okay. Now you have to tell me, when do we observe Cancer Day and what was the theme for 2022? Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.